Hi guys, and welcome back to the Essence of May. So today I want to bring to focus a news story from the Jamaica Observer. It's on quite a few news platforms, but I chose the Jamaica Observer as my source this morning. So it's really about a church minister who was among 4 charged with having sex with a minor. So I'll be reading the article quickly and then I'll go into my discussion, i.e. my 2 cents on the whole matter. So guys, let's get into the video. So the title of the article is Church Minister Among 4 Charged with Having Sex with a Minor. And it reads, Kingston, Jamaica, a church minister is among 4 people who have been charged with having sexual intercourse with a person under 16 in separate incidents in Clarendon, St. Catherine, and St. Andrew. In the first incident, 32-year-old Ian Reid, a minister of Tread Light District in Clarendon, is accused of having sex with a 15-year-old girl in an abandoned building in his community on Monday, July 20. Please bear with me. I tend to visualize when I read, so it's just the old thought of that just made me sick to my stomach, but I'll continue. The matter was reported to the police on Tuesday, August 11, and Reid was arrested and charged. I wonder who reported it. Meanwhile, in St. Catherine, 27-year-old Alwyn Kerr of Dawkins Avenue in Portmore, St. Catherine, and Andre Barrett of Partridge Way, Elsha in St. Catherine, and the Kingston 20 address were charged with rape, having sexual intercourse with a person under 16, abduction, grievous sexual assault, and human trafficking. Remember, I spoke about that whole human trafficking that people still don't believe that is happening in Jamaica. And it's all over, but we're focusing on Jamaica. And I continue. Reports are that on Tuesday, July 21st, Kerr picked up a 15-year-old girl in downtown Kingston and brought her to a house in Portmore. In Portmore, St. Catherine, where Ian Barrett had sex with her. Jesus. The matter was reported to the police and an operation carried out in downtown Kingston on Wednesday, August 5th, where both men were nabbed. Kerr and Barrett were charged on Tuesday, August 11. Their court dates are being finalized. Additionally, a 16-year-old student of Riverside Drive, Kingston 20, was charged with aiding and abetting rape and having sexual intercourse with a person under 16 based on allegations that he had sex with a 15-year-old several times, between November 2019 and June 2020. So that's the end of the article. So there you have it, guys. That's the whole article and what's been going on. As you notice, they're separate incident, but the Observer piled it all in one because it happened. They all got nabbed on roughly the same day. So 2 things I want to address in these articles: 1, the whole rape situation, and 2, the whole minister that was charged among those 3 individuals. And the reason why I'm focusing on those 2 is because I was reading the comment section on most of the platforms that covered the news, and basically the comments are really the same. It's really what you usually hear. I wasn't surprised because this is what you usually hear when you hear the word church minister associated with anything negative. People tend to always jump on the bandwagon. And the first thing they love to say, oh, look, that's a minister. Oh, that's why I don't go to church. That's why I don't believe in Christians. That's why this, that's why that. And, it's really ignorance that causes people to say things like that. Because for people to say that, it would mean that only Christians, only church has negative within the building. No other culture, religion, nothing else. It's just church. And because you're a Christian or because you go to church, it means you are immune to sin. It means you are perfect. and it means that you should be the holiest of holiest. Now, of course, it's sad, it's sickening to know that someone who's supposed to be leading the people, someone who's supposed to promoting the best of light, let your light so shine before man so that your Father can be glorified. Someone who's supposed to be leading the charge of holiness, of goodness. Of course, that's sad that they're the ones destroying individuals. Because let me tell you something, rape, it's destructive. When a young girl, remember, at the end of the day, this is why we have laws in place to protect minors. It's a reason, because of what because of how detrimental this is to this individual's development, to this individual's future, when they have experienced one, trauma, two, any form of trauma, whether it be sexual trauma, psychological trauma, you name it. This is why there's laws in place, because it is backed up by psychological evidence that trauma destroys individuals unless they have been radical counseling. It has such a negative effect on them. You know what I mean? So this is why we have laws in place. So of course, putting that in the forefront, that even to read it is disgusting. It's disturbing. It's even more disturbing when you think of it as a mother. I have 2 daughters. So it's harder when you have children, because you love your children and you think about entrusting them with individuals, expecting them to be safe. But in the world we live in, knowing that it might be a case where your child is being abused and you don't even know. So that's a troubling reality. But what I want to point out to people is, you can't keep saying, oh, I'm not going to go to church, and look at it's the church people and they're the ones and they're supposed to, that's why I'm going to believe in a church. How can you use an individual to dictate your belief when we all know that good and bad is in every single area? Evil is not only outside in the world. Yes, it's not so, you would expect the house of the Lord should be a place, a safe haven. But the reality is that it is just what it is. It's just where evil exists everywhere. And it doesn't partial church or wherever. So you can't use one individual's actions to dictate, or a few individuals' actions to dictate what is happening on a broader scale. And this is why I'm saying to you that people are capable of some crazy things. And in your head, you feel like you can never do it. Thank God for that. But you have some sick people out there. This is why you have to be careful. I can tell you, I trust no one with my daughters or my nieces or my nephews. Because it's not only girls that are being abused. Right now, it's even boys more than girls. Because there's so much sickness in the world. There's so much thorns. The Bible speaks about Paul and his thorns. There's so much people that are sick in the head. For example, I'm doing psychology, and we have to do a lot of interviews, we have to do a lot of reviews, we have to do a lot of reviews on cases. And I can tell you without mentioning exactly, because I can speak about this without mentioning the person's name. And I can tell you, I've heard some cases where individuals would confess to having feelings for their own children. It sounds sick to you. It's a reality, guys. There are men right now who has to be locked up, who asks to be locked up because they're having sexual feelings for their child, or they're having sexual feelings for their relative, and they'll tell you that they're struggling and they're trying to get rid of it, but it's just, they can't seem to shake it. There are sick people out there that are under counseling. There's a lot of predators out there right now who will tell you that their hands shake when they see a little girl or a little boy. It's sick. But it's the reality. This is why you have to be careful. Because what you see is not what you get most of the times. You know. So this is the world we live in. So you can't point it down to just the fact that this is a church this is a church problem. This is not a church problem. This is a human problem. This is a sin problem. This is what humans are capable of. We have to just thank God we're not out there doing certain things. This is why I'm telling you, it's so much bigger than just the eyes. And this is why my job is secure. This is why my job is secure. Because this is what we do. This is what we do. We try to figure out human behavior, human comprehension, so many of those factors. Why people behave the way they do. These are all psychological. And we may not have all the answer, because I believe that we can try to understand certain things, but there's some things that we'll never understand in this time. That's just up to God. But this is what we do. We try to understand behavior in order to prevent said behaviors. So we look at culture, we look at rearing, i.e. nurturing, we look at environmental factors, we look at intrinsic factors, we look at so many different factors, what contributes. So I continue to talk about the ways in which we can't just pinpoint one thing, because it's a correlation, it's a variation of things that contributes to certain behavior. Because look at that. There's so many single women out there, but this minister shows someone is underage. It's the sickness. But that's really it, guys. So the whole news, the whole rape situation, it's just it's a devastation. It's a devastation, you know. But I just want people, I brought this news to you guys because I want people to stop looking at things and stop generalizing. Like I said, the whole thing is disgusting. That minister is disgusting. But I just want people to understand that you can't pinpoint it, you can't put it down just to church. Because this whole sickness is everywhere. It's a problem in our society. And even in the two guys that were charged, look at that part as well. They picked up this individual. They picked up the young lady, the young girl from downtown. And this is what happens. So when you see those young girls that get missing, get murdered, that's what we're having. Taxi man, all of that. Individuals, you just have individuals that pray, and young girls, individuals that's what gets them going. It gives them a rush. So many sickness. But all we can do is be careful and continue to promote this whole awareness of what is going on, of being careful and trusting and not trusting someone based on how they look. But try people, search them, try them spirit. But as always, guys, I do thank you for watching. I have this week off, so I have a few videos to release. But as always, thank you for watching. And all I can say is that just be more aware. Be aware of your surrounding, of people you trust with your daughters. And understand that this is not just a church issue. It's a world issue. It's a sin issue. It's a people issue. It's a human issue. So we have to be wary of what we have around us. So as always, you do take care. Until next time, Godspeed. Big up.